Ross Sapp. I
Get
got
in
heat with
line.
Ross Sapp
Get in
because
line.
here's the deal, man. Everyone's coming at him on Twitter about like, hey, report this, whatever. Where's your sources, whatever. I don't care about any of that. I care about the fact that you're supposed to be like the big time news source in pro wrestling media. Meanwhile, we have a million scoops from STARRCAST, and you didn't report one of them. Now, one of them was on Fightful, and I'm going to run down them right now. So you did not report that we confirmed that the Book of Hobbs is not available in audio form. That's one.
Big. Yeah, it's big.
Here comes trouble!
It's me. It's that end to the TGD, rolling once again with that BTBB, Big Trouble Ben Bishop, taking up the whole screen. And I'm Nikki the Good, and we are the Meatpop Express, brother. And boy, Ben, have we had a week, dude? Oh,
it's a week that you read about, Nick. What a week. Starting from really this moment all the way to now, from last week to now. Whew, what a whirlwind.
I am exhausted from trending so damn hard.
The million impression man right in front of you, folks.
3 million impressions.
3 million. Never mind. I'm behind.
3 million impressions, 500,000 views of me just putting the Barstool universe into a swerveplex city, baby, because pro wrestling, you ain't got shit on pro wrestling, brother. You're dealing with a guy that's been watching it for 30 plus years, and you think I'm just gonna come on board and just like be like, oh, no. We're talking business here, okay? And if you guys don't know what the hell we're talking about, it's because, as you know, your boy got future endeavored from Barstool, but then I just used it to my advantage, a little marketing action. But now what's happened, Ben, is that like Barstool just loves the Meatpop Express. Everybody's talking about it.
They love it. Everyone. We got, KFC, Kirk Minahan. We got to shout out Stephen Che. Big Cats retweeted us. Everyone in the Barstool universe now knows about the Meatpop Express. This thing took a runaway train.
It's incredible that we're Barstool Radio. I'm listening to yesterday. They're like, Meatpop Express. Meatpop Express. No other pro wrestling podcast on the face of the earth is just loved and adored by the millions right now, like us. And I can say that because I just got 1 million impressions. Because I just got 3 million impressions. So 3 million people know who the Meatpop Express is. That's legitimately fact. And we're running hot, though. We're running hot. Obviously, Barstool loves us, right? We will be the only podcast that is supported. We're only wrestling podcast that's going to be supported by Barstool ever, right? Like,
we can't get cut.
We can't get cut. You can't cut us. We're our own damn thing. But we were at STARRCAST. We were at STARRCAST.
We were at STARRCAST. We were at STARRCAST. Man.
We were all over them. Couldn't deny us. You saw us everywhere. We did interviews. We did Man on the Street. Ben, what do you got to say about it? What's
just
your take
48 hours of just pure fury from the Meatpop Express. We went in. We didn't take look at those peaks. We didn't take any prisoners. We went in and we made sure that we were known. Everywhere we went, from that hallway to the collector's corner, whatever you want to call it, to the main stage, to the tent outside, to the hotel lobby. It didn't matter where we were. All eyes were on these two good-looking, tan studs walking around, making a statement.
And that's what we said we were going to do. We said we were coming.
We called our shot.
They wouldn't give us a graphic. Now, maybe next time, you'll think twice.
Yeah, STARRCAST events on Twitter. We're gonna need our graphic next time.
Yeah, we stuffed you in a locker, bro. Okay, we stuffed you in a locker. So here's the deal. You let Conrad know that we're good for the live show next year. The Meatpop Express on the main stage. We accept your offer in advance. Another thing I got, though, is that we were obviously the most credentialed and really only real true journalists down there.
Yes.
We were the only ones getting the real scoops, but I got beef with someone. I got heat with someone online.
All right, let's hear it.
Ross Sapp. I got heat with Ross Sapp because here's the deal, man. Everyone's coming at him on Twitter about like, hey, report this, whatever. Where's your sources, whatever. I don't care about any of that. I care about the fact that you're supposed to be like the big time news source in pro wrestling media. Meanwhile, we have 1 million scoops from STARRCAST, and you didn't report one of them. Now, one of them was on Fightful, and I'm going to run down it right now. So you did not report that we confirmed that the Book of Hobbs is not available in audio form. That's one.
Big. Yeah, that's big. That's big.
You did not confirm that Chelsea Green is taller than Matt Cardona in heels. You didn't confirm
not taller than me, but yeah, taller than Matt for sure.
You did not confirm that Effie can get an entire meat stick in his mouth at once.
Yeah, the size doesn't matter, but
size
he got it in there. He got it in there.
You didn't confirm that the Blue Meanie had a bong named after him.
Yes, by none other than the 3 million impression man.
BWO.
BWO. Shout out our boy, the Blue Meanie.
Shout out Blue Meanie. Thanks for your time. That interview's coming out very soon. And we also, Lash LaRue. I mean, he can draw. And he's a phenomenal guy, great guy. And none of this was reported by Sean Ross Sapp.
Lash LaRue is a talented guy. Let me say this, everybody. If you remember him from the WCW days in the late '90s, early 2000s, we remember him as a great wrestler. The Misfits in Action. I was a big mark for the Misfits in Action. Huge Erection, GI Bro, Lieutenant Loco, obviously Corporal Cajun. We remember the Misfits in Action, but you got to check out Lash Can Draw on Twitter as well. You got to see what this guy can do. He's killing it with these caricatures, and we're probably going to hit him up. We're going to have some dumb of us.
We're going to have Lash. We're going to have Lash on. I mean, that's just
we're definitely going to have Lash on.
That's absolutely happening. Yeah. So literally, Sean Ross Sapp, maybe like I don't know, man, like report on this stuff because we didn't go down there for no reason. We came in, we gave you the scoops on a silver platter. They're in video form, like they're in audio form. Like just grab them and like I don't know. Do it, man.
Don't be intimidated, Sean. Sean, we're friends. We're all friendly. We know the wrestling media is a brotherhood. I know that we're on top of the mountain there, on top of Mega Mountain. But listen, we're here. We want to work with you. So let the people know we got the hottest scoops in wrestling right now, bud.
Dude, like CM Punk is like, no offense to CM Punk, but like that's like a week old story. Like we are like in the present right now. Then now forever, Meatpop. Like that is a real thing.
Forever. Meatpop,
right? Might have to get that shirt. We're gonna have merch eventually.
We had a whole crowd chanting Meatpop. Chanting it.
Not just a whole crowd. We had the entire arena chanting meat for like literally 25 minutes.
Everybody. I don't think it's a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence, my friend. But we're gonna get into the actual show now. Right. So we're going to kick it off with our segment, Takey to Hotty. Ben, tag. I'm going to tag into the big man here. We're going to start off with some big boots. Let me know. What do you got? What are your hot takes?
Let's see. All right. Let me start with this one because already sounded off a little on Twitter about this yesterday. I said we were going to talk about it on the pod. Brian Alvarez had some words about Austin Theory. Now, we've spoken about Austin Theory. We've said there is something missing there. And we can all, we agree with that. There might be something missing.
Yeah.
Brian Alvarez saying, hey, Austin, if you're listening, like whoever's telling you to do what you're doing, stop. Like this, that, and the other, the 90s style doesn't work. Like we're in 2023. What is he thinking that this style doesn't work? Look at the guys who are still over with and look at us. Like obviously our style works. You could have seen it at STARRCAST if you paid attention, but we're looking at LA Knight. We see guys like him. What the Miz does still works to this day. And obviously everybody in the 90s and all them, they're over as hell. We don't have to go through the list of names. But Brian Alvarez, I don't understand what he's trying to get at here. Like Ness, I understand that something's missing with Austin Theory. And he's a young guy. He's 25 years old. He looks great. He's phenomenal in the ring. I have a feeling the guy's going to figure it out. He's 25. He's 25.
What part of Roman?
It took Cena a little bit to figure it out.
What part of Roman Reigns is not like vintage 90s like thing? Like the guy doesn't do a ton of moves. He just comes in. He stares at the crowd. He walks around the ring slow. He invokes emotion. Like he's the top.
Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. It was a silly take. And what do you want this guy to do to get over with you, Brian? Do you want him to go into a VFW in front of 150 people and try to kill himself? Is that over to you, Brian? Is that something that's going to be over to you? So no, I don't. There was a dumb take. Obviously they're one of the top wrestling, journalists. No, not for long, because we're right on their tails. We got the most momentum in the game. But that was a dumb take. Hated every second of it. But hey, you get what you get with those two.
Yeah, so I completely agree. It's like, listen, we know you wrestled a little bit. We get it. You had a few, highlights, whatever that'll go. But like that's like me telling Joe Rogan like had a podcast. Like
Yeah.
that's the equivalent, or anyone that's like podcast. Like just because I do it doesn't mean that I'm gonna just start like critiquing it to the level of like you have to stop this. Like no, dude. Like he's there right now. Like he's 25. Like you're in your 40s. You know,
Mhm.
like what are
Mhm.
you talking about? Like that. I mean, yeah, bad take there. For me, take you to Hottie is okay. So this one's my own. Um, I really do think that the landscape of AEW, I was at All Out. I sat row 4, right, with the Meatpop Express
Of course.
hat on. There's a few guys, man. I don't think the guys that they think are the top guys right now. I'm kind of thinking that AEW just has so much momentum with other dudes. And this is my hot take: is I think that you got, I think, Orange Cassidy, Ricky Starks, Max, Brian Danielson, MJF, and Cole. I think those are the guys. Like I know
Mhm.
Kenny's there, I know the Young Bucks are there, but like those are the guys that I'm getting behind. And I don't know how hot of a take that is, but I was in the arena.
Mhm.
Those dudes got the most like it wasn't like obviously you had the Young Bucks match, you had the FTR match, and there was heat there. Obviously, the crowd was palpitated because of the whole Punk thing. But in terms of like organic, like connection with the fans, the guys I named, those are the ones that I think are gonna right the AEW ship post Punk. Like I
Mhm.
don't think it's gonna be the original guys that were like pushed by Tony. I think it's gonna be this crop of like all these dudes outside of Danielson are they're all like young, pretty young dudes, man.
Mhm.
Like they're just young guys. I think that's the way we got to go. I know like Sammy Guevara was a pillar, Jack Perry was a pillar, Darby, but like I don't know, man. These guys, Orange Cassidy, like who, like people are like, what is this guy's gimmick? He closed out that show, and listen, like it wasn't for the world title, but I think it was a perfect way to close out All Out. I think
Mhm.
like it basically like, hey, this is the guy. This is
Mhm.
who AEW is. I don't know what you think
Mhm.
about that, Ben, but that's what I felt in the arena.
No, it's hard to argue with that because you just the proof is in the pudding and you see the reactions all those guys are getting. Obviously, Brian Danielson, it speaks for himself, and we know how over he's been throughout the last 10 years, really. But even those other guys like the Ricky Starks and the Orange Cassidys, and look what these guys have. Not only are they good wrestlers, they have personality.
Yes.
And it
Yes.
exudes through the screen, and the people pick up on it. That's why we say this ad nauseum, but that's why LA Knight is over. It's not because he's a good wrestler at all. It's not that. He is, but it doesn't matter. It's because he has personality. And Ricky Starks and Orange Cassidy and obviously MJF and Adam Cole, they all have that. They all have that personality that is just it just turns them up to 11. And that's where the best personalities, the best gimmicks come from. It's when somebody takes who they are and turns it up to 11. And every single one of them does that.
Right. And like that's why like I mentioned like a Darby, I mentioned like a Sammy, like listen, they're both great in the ring. And I think they're stalwarts in AEW. Like they're synonymous with AEW. But what have they done different over the past like since the beginning of AEW? It's
True.
the same guys.
You
Like
know, I
they're
think with
really, Sammy's a little, interesting because he's always been attached to someone. And I think he has evolved to an extent. But as far as being on your own, I don't really know if he's done that quite yet, but I feel like the others have.
I'll say with Darby though, I think Darby has that weird, like unspoken charisma, like the Jeff
He
Hardy
doesn't need to
had.
talk. He does
He
not
doesn't
need
need
to
to
talk.
talk. So I think Darby, and also you look at the character of Darby Allin, and that is a character that heavily will resonate with a wrestling audience.
Yeah.
The emo
I'm
anti-society, I'm
against
against
the
society,
machine.
against the
Yeah.
machine. That's very much a popular gimmick for professional wrestling
And
fans. I think
I like
I put him
Darby.
up
Like
there, but I go ahead.
when his music hits, and he comes down on the skateboard and everything and he hits his
Yeah.
pose in the rope, people do react. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like I'm talking like top of the heap, like who's gonna get the needle moving and get them to the point where like they are a premier
Mm-hmm.
show and everyone is locked into all these storylines. I think the guys I named just then. What's your next one, Ben? Tag you're in.
Yeah, I'm actually I got this recently from False Finish HQ on Instagram. They pose a lot of good questions on there to make you think, some thought-provoking questions. They posted, they're big fans of this guy, and they said, "Is Miz a top 5 promo of all time?"
All time?
Of
No.
all time. No, you don't think so.
Not all time.
Who would you put ahead? Now this isn't the six pack challenge, but who would you put ahead of Miz?
Um, I would say The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I would say Austin,
Mm-hmm.
Triple H,
Mm-hmm.
Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, I mean, there's just like Flair, like
Okay. Yeah.
Dusty, like
Yeah.
top 5 is crazy. And I may take back the MJF thing, to be honest, because he hasn't been doing it that long, but like
I see them as similar as
they're
MJF and
similar.
Miz are
They're
very
very
similar
much similar.
because
Like
they'll kind of pull the curtain back a little bit, both of them, and they'll kind of say things that will when Miz gets real fired up, and we've seen like every once or twice a year we'll see that real fired up Miz promo about I've been here for 20 years type thing, and I've never gotten hurt, and I've this that and the other. So we'll see it out of the Miz. I
real
think
quick though, I want to clarify, like the Miz is one of my favorite wrestlers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like when he had his I'm Awesome shirt, I bought it like immediately. Like it's just the question is like top 5. Like if you said top 10, I would be like, I think there could be an argument there.
Yeah.
Top 5, you're
Top
talking
5's tough.
Mount Rushmore guys, like Mount Rushmore guys.
Now, would you say 5 right now? Would you put the Miz up there?
100%.
Yeah, I think right
not
now,
even it is not even. Is that what this question was though?
No,
Is
it was. It said.
if it's
Let
all
me just,
time,
let me
it's
just
no.
make sure I check because I'm pretty positive they put up all time.
If it's right now, he is locked and loaded as a top 5 promo, like without question. Like I don't even think that's up for a debate. I mean, he can take any
time. They asked all time.
If it's all time, no. But if it's right now, he's absolutely in the top 5.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'd put him up there with the LA Knights, the MJF. Who am I forgetting of top 5?
I would say he's above LA Knight at this point. I mean, LA Knight right now, he just exudes so much energy, charisma.
Yeah, he's a charisma.
And he only hits, and he doesn't have to say much. The Miz can literally go on 20 minutes and just tell a picture perfect story. Like that's just the fact.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I think right now you're right. I think top 5 right now, not all time. That's a stretch.
Maybe we'll do a 6 pack challenge of that in the future.
Yeah.
The last one that I'll have is that Jey Uso's theme song just needs to be tweaked a little bit. I get they did like they're keeping the the vintage Usos like down since day one is
so the crowd can react to it.
But the theme, but like they changed the lyrics to like it's just me now or something like that. I don't know the audio. I think they kind of rushed it. Let's get back. Let's clean that up a little bit. But Jey Uso, man, he looks like a main event dude. And guess what? WWE needs that. They needed another guy at the top. They needed another baby face that wasn't named Cody Rhodes. And now they got it, and they're positioning him as a top guy. And I'm here for when it comes down to the Jimmy feud. Like it's got to come at some point. Like they got to start. I think I mean, obviously different brands and stuff like that now, but like it just sets so much up that you split the Usos up a bit, and like they're big enough now they can go off on their own. That's my hot take. Number 1, change the theme song. Whoever the audio engineer is there, like I don't know, get Jim Johnson back for a quick stint and be like, yo, how do you fix this shit? Because that theme song is missing a little something.
I agree.
We're gonna move into the 6 pack challenge now. Speaking of theme songs. Right. So we, while we were at STARRCAST, we ran into a guy named Matt Cardona, and he was pumping some serious weight. He was pumping 30 pounds on cable flies.
Yeah, really just lighting the gym on fire.
Jesus, I'm so sorry, Chelsea, that we had that on video. That is embarrassing.
Tough love.
Woof. But it got me thinking, right? So he was listening to Major Players, which is his theme song with Brian Myers. But okay, I think we need to make a playlist, Ben. I think that's what the 6 pack challenge here is. We're gonna draft our gym playlists by using pro wrestling theme songs only. All right, and I think I go first.
I think so.
I think
go
I
right
go
ahead.
first. I'm going to tag myself in. Okay, so the number 1 overall pick for me in the 6 pack challenge, I'm going with Motorhead. I'm going with Triple H. I'm going with The Game. Time to play the game.
Let me coming through the speakers.
Gonna play the game.
Yeah.
You could even pump it, like you could do the reps to the actual like beat of the theme of the song.
Knowing him, that's probably what he did. That's probably part of it.
There is no better theme song to get a pump to work out in the gym to than Triple H's The Game. Ben, tag you're in. What do you got for round 1? Pick one.
Well, I through the years, whenever I've been on interviews, podcasts, I've become like a broken record about this, and I always obviously bring this person up. So I'm becoming very predictable. But number one for me is the NWO Wolfpack theme song.
Oh,
Gotta go with the Wolfpack, written by Jimmy Hart.
boom,
And do you know who
boom,
sang it? Do you know who
boom.
sang it?
No.
No Limit Soldier himself, one of
Oh,
Master P's boys, C Murder was the
C
one
Murder.
who sang the NWO Wolfpack theme song. No, I mean the red and black, obviously a hell of an aesthetic. Coming out, nobody was cooler than the Wolfpack. So yeah, that's gotta be mine.
And I can just feel it. Like you're standing at like the lat pull down machine, you're getting ready. Like you know, you do that, you hit but then you hit play button and it goes, oh,
Wolfpack is back, causing mass destruction.
You know, don't turn your back on the Wolfpack. You might wind up in a
body bag.
All right, so tag I'm in. So my second round pick in the SYXX PAC challenge is I'm going with Demolition's face theme.
Okay. Wow, deep cut.
Here comes the axe. Here comes the smasher with demolition. Walking is destruction is our middle name.
That is an 80s montage that you read about.
Are we serious here? Are we dressed like this right now and don't think I'm gonna pull out Demolition's face theme? It's just a good vibes theme, man. Just a good vibes theme. The Demolition as a face as a kid, when they went face, I was like, man, this is the coolest shit of all time. You got these guys wearing bondage stuff with the face paint. Axe may or may not have hair at this point, but like, you know, it was great. We actually saw them this weekend. We saw Demolition.
They saw us.
They saw
they saw us. They knew they saw us. How about that thing that went like viral over on wrestling Twitter with the guy who had the sign up that says, "Why was Axe's hair so nice?"
I know, that's where I brought it up. Yeah.
Oh man.
Sign.
Oh,
but that's good. Me. I'm going with round 2, pick 2. I'm going with Demolition's face theme.
All right. Well, let me go with my second pick. And on this day, I see clearly because I'm going with Metalingus by Alter Bridge. I've loved this song since Edge had it. You know, this is a lot of people always ask too, like, how did I get into certain music? And a lot of it, I always tell them, was like, I listened to I was watching wrestling in the 90s and early 2000s. Like how the first time I heard Limp Bizkit, the first time I heard Creed, it was all because of wrestling. And the type of music I listen to now really, you know, comes from a lot of wrestling. So Metaling is one of my favorite songs from Edge. And by Alter Bridge. I mean, this the beginning, you know, that it comes in and you think you know me, and then all of a sudden, you know, the boom, 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 and then it kicks into it. I don't think anything was. I might have the date wrong. Was it 2020 Royal Rumble where he came back?
Yeah, he came back 2020.
Yeah, that was it. So I mean,
it was like
as soon as it hit, it was like
you think you know me?
And then the people just, you know, obviously they know it, and that makes a good theme song, right? Is that little beginning where you know what's going to happen. You know, if you smell, you think you know me. The glass shattering.
Here comes trouble. Here comes trouble.
Here, of course, well, obviously that's number one, but we don't always put ourselves over. But you know what? We will hear. Here comes trouble. You know what's coming. You know exactly what's coming. As soon as you hear that beginning riff or that beginning saying, that makes such a good theme song, and that's why I'm putting Alter Bridge.
That's a heavy lift too. If I'm listening to that theme song, I'm doing something big. I might even do legs with that biggest body part. You know. For me, my third round pick is I'm going with, this is just because I kind of think it's funny. Like I think like, oh man, what's that guy? You know, what's that guy listening to right now that he's putting up all that weight? I'm gonna go with Ass Man by Bailey Gunn.
Okay.
It's just something about it. It's like you love to love him, you love to stick him, you love to home.
The lyrics, if you really read those lyrics, it's just unreal.
It's unbelievable. And to me, it's just more about like, I just like working out and like looking at people, being like, what are they listening to? Imagine being like, yo, man, what are you listening to? You listen heavy. What's your playlist? Oh, Ass Man, Billy Gunn.
Sometimes I'm in the gym and I'm like mean mugging and like, you know, getting really good lift. And then I realize like, dude, you're listening to like the DuckTales theme song. Like, stop. Yeah. You're not tough. All right. Number 3 for me. And, you know, we were just in Chicago. We were just there. We took over Chicago. We took over Showersburg, Illinois, wherever the heck we were at that Hyatt Regency. So I'm bringing it back to 2011. Money in the Bank. CM Punk coming out, Fireburns. No, not Colt. Not
Oh,
Colt.
I know. I knew you were
Which is a
going.
good song. Colt the Personality is a good song, but not the gym song. Fireburn. This Fireburns by Kill Switch Engage. Again, the riff at the beginning that starts it. And then just the yell at the screamo, but also the singing. It's a good mix, gets you really fired up in the gym. So I'm going with Fireburns by Kill Switch Engage.
Great riff in the beginning. Round down, round. But all right, so that's the SYXX PAC challenge for this
song.
week. So for some honorable mentions for me, I have Kingdom. So I have Kingdom.
Yeah, let's hear some honorable
boys
mentions.
At Downstate, obviously Downstate.
Okay, of course.
Might be having
Shout
them
out
on.
Downstate,
Might be having
friends of the
them
pod.
on soon. Might be having them on soon.
Stay
Got
tuned.
Downstate. I got the Broods theme song. Broods theme song, little creepy for the gym, but it slaps. And then lastly, I had DX Kings of Rock by Run DMC. I think that's DX's best version of their song.
Okay, I had the Are You Ready DX theme, honorable mention. So I did have DX theme here. The one Billy Gunn, that's very forgotten.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, that one's great. Rikishi's theme. I loved Big Keish. Called me Oos this weekend at STARRCAST. And
I heard it.
Yep, he did. DDP's, riff on Smells Like Teen Spirit, Self High Five. Bang, yep. DDP. And you know what? A recent one that I do like. I like Kenny Omega's theme. I gotta say.
So good.
I really like the whole
what
video
is it?
game aspect.
It's called what's it called?
Isn't it called One Winged Angel?
No, it's not called One Winged Angels. It's called
now I'm looking it up.
Battle Cry.
Yeah,
and he does the end. He goes and he does the thing, and then his pyro I think is the best in AEW.
Yeah, and he's got the whole. Another thing that makes a good theme song is when whoever's coming out to it has a certain I don't want to say act, but you know what I mean. Like comes out the walk, and the poses at the right time.
The way.
Cody, yeah,
the way that Austin says, like, if your walk has to be your theme song. Like he always said that the bad motherfucker walk was what he did to his theme song. And it's the same thing. Like Kenny has that, he's got that swag about him with the talking to the camera with the guns and everything like that. I love that, dude. I think Battle Cry, I mean that's on my playlist. And that's good for running too. Like if I do a sprint or I'm doing an 800-meter run,
I feel like you're in a video. You feel like you're in a video game. You feel like Mega Man.
Yeah. That's great, man. I think this one will go over great with the fans, all of our new fans, because guess what? We're almost at 1,000 followers on Twitter.
Let's get the live right here. See what we got. We want to get to 1,000 by the drop tomorrow. 928. Got a little bit of ways to go. 72.
928. We are climbing. Let's see. All right. So here we go. Next segment here, we're gonna go into Actually Over. So this is the segment where we talk about things that it was just a little bit that next level. Ben mentioned earlier in the show how you turn the dial and you go to 11. That's what Austin used to say. Like, it's just my personality turn up to 11. That's what Stone Cold Steve Austin is. That's what we mean with this segment, is that it's something that happened in pro wrestling on television that said this was actually over, because saying over, we say it all the time. Not everything's over.
No.
These things are actually over. So Ben Tag, I'm going to give it to you first. What do you got?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with my 5 things that were over this week and run through them here. Swerve on Dynamite. Number 1, I got I'm coming for that. He's talking to Adam Page and he cut him to the core. I'm coming for that spot you act like you don't want. You don't have any new merchandise. You haven't had a lot of singles matches. Adam Page, a guy who looks the part. He looks more like a pro wrestler than a lot of pro wrestlers these days. He's in that 1% of pro wrestlers, and he's got the ability. But why isn't he playing, like us, like me? We'll talk about getting booked later. But Swerve on Dynamite cut him right to the core and says he's coming for that spot. And you believe it when Swerve says it, because he's got that swagger.
And also because AEW has a little bit of a smaller guys. Swerve looks big in the ring.
He does. He's a tall guy. He's not a short guy.
He's also got a nice theme song, and he's got the dude that dances. The entrance is a thing.
Yeah.
You got the dude doing the same dance over and over again. I love it. I've come around on Swerve. People were like, I can't believe he left WWE at that time. And they brought up Hit Row. Bro, Swerve is just fine. If anything, I think he's going to be one of the key heels that they got coming in.
No, he figured out where he is now,
Yeah,
and he's good. He's good. Let him be a little bit. Let him rock.
do his thing. Let him do his thing. Right. Let him do his thing. Don't put him in tag teams. Don't put him in
enough of
tag
this.
teams.
Like, and he had the two
thing.
heavies. The heavies that didn't work. So Swerve, if you need a heavy, I'm right here. Unless if Matt Cardona doesn't follow through.
Yeah,
attempted murder on live NXT TV, I guess, is over nowadays. Von Wagner, a lot of people compare Von Wagner to me. I'm a better looking version than him, but besides the point. Booker T's reaction was great. Somebody on Twitter actually put that up. They zoomed in on Booker T, his mouth gaping wide open. But that Braun Breaker attempted murder on NXT, that's over to me. Get Trish and Becky in a steel cage from Payback. I didn't see that coming. Didn't see that. Blew everyone away.
Got that on my list. So that's when you stole it. Go ahead.
Unbelievable. Stealing it right from you. Meat is over. Right? Meat is over. Miro and Hobbs, just two meaty guys. See, what have we been telling you? People want to see heavyweights. They want to see heavyweights. They love watching heavyweights work. Two athletic guys. That's what people want to see. Get it through your skull. Heavyweights are back. And number 5, the last thing I got, Meatpop Express. We're over his shit. So, I mean, there's nothing else to be said. We are over.
So
like numerator.
So you took almost all of mine. So that's what tag teams do.
Hey, got to steal the shine a little bit.
We're thinking the same, but I had one that you didn't mention. And I'm going to say, listen, we know LA Knight is over. But Cena giving him the point. When Cena does something for you, when Cena goes, hey, he gives you that, that approval, that endorsement, it means something different. I think that what LA Knight just got, he's going to do what Austin Theory didn't do or couldn't do at the time. Listen, they're not comparable guys, right? Theory is a young 25-year-old dude who's finding himself and crafting his character. LA Knight, as he said, and it's one of my favorite lines, man, is like people, they bet on all the wrong horses, They bet on all the wrong horses. And me, I'm a dangerous man. And I think people are starting to understand that LA Knight is, in fact, a dangerous man. And John Cena sure as hell sees it.
Yeah.
He sure as hell sees it. So that's actually over for me. And also, dude, the meat thing. Just to go back, Hobbs and Miro, that was one of the hottest things on the entire show. First of all, that show was awesome. You want to say actually over? All Out was over. There. You guys want to talk about the build-up and stuff like that with Tony? I get it. It wasn't quite there, right? It wasn't quite there. The whole weekend was like a total, I don't know.
It was marred by the big news.
It was
Chris
marred
Van
by
Vliet liked our tweets.
Yes, marred by the big news. Chris Van Vliet liking our tweets. Big shout out to our guy, because we are your super fans. It's in the bio now. I changed it in case Ben, if I don't know if you saw it, but it's in
I saw it in the bio.
So that's actually over. And then speaking of over, the Hulkster's always been over. He'll be over forever. And that's why we're going to go into the next segment. That's not going to work for me, brother. The hottest segment in all of pro wrestling media. Ben, this is where we talk about things that Hulk Hogan, things that just would not be good for the Hulkster. He ain't signing to do this shit. What do you got for me? What's not going to work?
Well, here's something that's not going to work for Hulkster. Picture Hulk Hogan, right? 10, 6'7", built, got a good body. He's got charisma. He's got the hair. He's got the colorful clothing on. Imagine him walking through a Hyatt Regency. Imagine him not being booked. Imagine that. Imagine the Hulkster not being booked all across America. Well, you want to know something? Old BT was walking through that Hyatt Regency. And like I said, no matter where I was, the earth was quaking. The pillars were shaking. And they all were looking at me. Every time I walk through the curtain, every time I walk through a door, all eyes are on old Big Trouble right here. And so you know what? To all the promoters out there, you better start booking, because if Hulk Hogan was walking around, if a guy that size is walking around, a guy my size is walking around, they should be booked. And the fact that they're not, that's not going to work for me, brother.
And it doesn't work for me either, because damn it, I need Ben to be turning fucking heads, and I need Ben to be getting attention so that I can ask these dumbass questions that I've been asking, and then I cut the damn clips. because that's how we roll. I don't think there's better synergy between you and me, Ben. I really don't think. I really truly believe that all of this was meant for a reason, that we needed to unite and really take the Meatpop Express to the next level. You formed the Meatpop Express in 2019, and I'm just the fucking gasoline, baby. That's what I am. I'm the gasoline. So that's not going to work for me, brother. So for me, I'm going with, listen, there was some big news this weekend, and it was that CM Punk was terminated. It took, I don't know how long. We've been doing this for what, 30 something minutes. We haven't even really mentioned the fact that CM Punk was fired. And you know why we haven't mentioned it? Because we're not the sheets. Okay. Those dudes have been talking about it ad nauseum. We love you guys. You guys are great in terms of doing what you do and, you know, getting people riled up, but that's just not our bag, man. That's not our bag. But what I am going to talk about is that, listen, Tony Khan coming out and telling the Collision crowd. So he comes out, right? He's sitting on a chair. He's like acting all emotional and stuff. And listen, I've been in the room with Tony many times before, right? He cares a lot. The guy wears it all on his sleeve, right? It's his life. Like he's a wrestling fan at heart. But he's sitting on a chair and he's letting the audience dictate really like what's going on to a degree. He got a little bit into it towards the end. He started going a little promo-ish. But listen, that's not going to work for me, brother. If Hulk Hogan, how many times have we seen the Hulks to be a host of WrestleMania or something? You come, listen, dude, brother, you got to come out, right? You hit your catchphrases. You say the message that you want to say, right? Whatever they're paying, which is an enormous amount of money if you want the Hulkster to say it, right? You hit your poses and you get the hell out of there and you go on the private jet. There's no reason to be out there telling this crowd, giving them a 15-minute manifesto as to why you fired CM Punk. The dude's fighting people in the back. The dude's attacking you. Whatever Sean Ross Sapp reported, one of those reports, I'm sure are true. But listen, hey, dude, the guy's crazy. We fired him. Okay. Now let me now everyone have a great night. All out's gonna be awesome. And I'll see you guys. Let's have a great show and hit the damn music. Let's go into the fucking show, man. What are we doing?
Boom. No, I couldn't agree more. That ain't gonna work for Hulk. You know who else that wouldn't work for? Big Vince. Vince come out there and so you all know I fired that son of a bitch. And they're all booing him, and you can all shut the hell up. And he'd walk right to the back. And he walked, all right. So, and that would be it. He doesn't care. He didn't care. He doesn't care what you think. I did what I wanted to do for my business. See it, Tony. That's all you gotta do. Do what you want to do. You're the money maker. You're the guy.
Vince literally was. There's like an iconic video of Vince going like, "I don't give a damn what you people want," and then Punk's like, "That's the problem, Vince." I'm like, I guess not. I guess it's not the problem.
And Vince says, "I know what you want. I know what you want to see," and he hasn't been wrong.
No, he hasn't. You know who else knows what you want? The Meatpop Express, brother. So we're going to finish up this show with Get Your Shit In, where we put ourselves over and we tell you where you could find us and what we got going on. So Ben, tag, you're in. What do you got? What are you going to get your shit in with?
So we're going to go 2 shows that are coming up in the next few weekends for me. So this weekend in the outskirts of Chicago in Sycamore, Illinois, Windy City Professional Wrestling, your guy, old BTBB. Meatpop and jaw dropping, never jobbing. Guess what? He's the champ. He's got the gold hanging over this 6'12" shoulder. And he's going in to Windy City Professional Wrestling. And he's just going to have I don't know who I'm wrestling, but you know what, Nick? It doesn't matter. So whoever's across the ring for me, I'm sorry, but all you're going to have is your back on the mat, looking up at the lights, and my hand will be raised to the goddamn rafters. So that's September 9th in Sycamore, Illinois for Windy City Professional Wrestling. You can find them on Twitter. I'll be posting it as well. You can see it on my Twitter at Big Trouble BB. Next weekend, big match. I'm going back home to Burlington, Vermont, where I stayed 4 years on the University of Vermont Catamounts playing basketball there. 2 NCAA tournaments, 1 NCAA tournament win against Lamar in the playing game. Don't forget about that. But I am going back there for World of Hurt Wrestling in Rutland, Vermont on Friday, but then Saturday in Burlington, big show, big time opponent facing off against, which I think he's the former Impact champion, or is he the current? I'm not sure. I think he's the former Impact champion, Steve Macklin. Myself and Steve Macklin, 2 guys who looked the part, probably going to be in the main event, obviously. Yep. I mean, no big deal, but can't wait. Going to be a huge match. Going to be a huge opportunity for old BTBB. So that's what's coming up for me in the next few weekends.
All right. So for me, I just might. I got some kids' birthday parties, man, on Saturday.
Oh boy.
Dude, I got a birthday party I gotta go to apparently. So this is obviously gonna be, this comes out on Friday. We're recording on a Thursday right now, but it's gonna come out tomorrow. But on Saturday, my wife's dragging me to a kid's birthday party. But I'm gonna try to go to Wrestling Showcase, which is gonna be this Saturday. It's in Metuchen, New Jersey,
right?
which is right. Yeah, which is I'm kind of in those neck of the woods, kind of sort of. So that's gonna feature friends of the pod now, because we interviewed them both on the Meatpop Express. We got Matt Cardona versus Colt Cabana, brother. So those guys are going to be going off on and that's going to be on the what do we got? I always mess up this name, but it's on the Premier streaming network. And we're going to have an actual promo that goes out. So make sure you check in our socials if you haven't. It's out right now. Right. By the time this is dropping, it's already been out. So make sure you're interacting with that, because there might be something interesting there that you may want to take advantage of. So go check our socials for that. Okay. All right. So that's going on this weekend in the world of professional wrestling. But as far as getting our shit in, listen, we are everywhere right now. So we are at Meatpop Express on Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. We are at the Meatpop Express, and then you can find Big Trouble Ben Bishop at Big Trouble BB, right? So you can find him everywhere: Twitter, TikTok, right? You can find me at Nikki the Good. Listen, I am the 11 point. Hold on. Let's see what it's out now. Let's see what it's out now. I am the 11.6 thousand follower man. I gained 5,000 followers in one day, because I'm a damn marketing genius. And that's just a fact. Okay. You never know what you got until it's gone. Well, I'm gone. And right now I'm as hot as I've ever been, brother. So follow me at Nikki the Good, literally everywhere: Twitter, TikTok, okay, Instagram. You ain't getting access to that, because that's where my real life.
You went the route of the friend of the pod, Matt Cardona, and you made the most of it. And you got yourself more over than ever. After getting the axe.
Listen, the
dream job,
the blueprint's out there, and it lies with the internet champion. So if any of you are trying to figure out what the hell to do, why don't you go look at the guy that is top of the indies right now. And that's all I'll say. That's it for the rest. That's it for the show. I thought this was a good show, Jeff. We got some good energy here.
That's what real we good. Well, we got a newfound energy, man. Things are moving.
We have momentum. That's what we got. And this is the last thing I'll say. I will get this audio. I will get us on audio. People have been asking us to get us on audio. I don't know what the hell's going on with this RSS feed. I fixed that shit, and I know I fixed that shit, but it's not working right now. But I'm gonna get it to work, so I can make sure that this bitch is on Spotify and it's on Apple and it's everywhere. But you can follow us. Make sure you're subscribing on YouTube, because every Friday, brother, you are going to see us every damn Friday now until the end of time. Ben, you got anything to sign off to these marks?
That's it. Keep it positive, keep it trucking, and always keep the shades on, because the sun never sets on a cool guy.
And for me, later, marks.
The earth quaking, the pillars shaking, the leader of the